Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the first episode of the Advantage Live Show. I am your co-host, Adam Gullett, and I'm the Director of Growth with Century 21 Advantage Realty, and I'm joined with the other co-host, Jane. Oh, you are muted, Jane. There
Good
we
morning,
go. Hey,
everyone.
Jane. Good morning, everybody. So, thank you, Kathy, for saying good morning. Good to see you, Kathy. Hey, Stephanie, CT, welcome to the stream. So glad to have you guys here. So we're going to be getting started with the show here real soon. Right now is really just the hangout section to kind of give everybody have some time to kind of roll on in here before we get started with the show. And right now, let's see here. All right. So first of all, if you guys do want to leave some comments, feel free to do so in the comment section as we go through this. So if you have any questions as we go through this as well, be sure to put in all caps question, followed by your question so that we know to answer that question as we go through this. And for those that might be watching this after the live show, be sure to drop in the comments there, hashtag team replay. That way we know that you watched it on the replay. It helps us know who's watching when. So I really do appreciate that. Today, we're actually pretty excited. We're going to have a few things going on today in the show. So we're going to be going through the real estate news. That we're going to be covering 5 housing trends that have changed in 2020 due to COVID-19. So that'd be kind of interesting to see. We also have a special guest, Steve Robinson. Most of you guys will know who that is. That is our principal broker and owner of Century 21 Advantage Realty. He'll be coming on to share a little bit of insights about who he is and the company and things like that. So we'll go into a deep dive with that. We also have a weekly real estate report that we're going to go through. It's from the National Association of Realtors. We'll talk just briefly about a few things that are going on in the economy in regards to real estate and what's going on in 2020 and maybe what's going to happen in 2021. So that'll be really good to see. And then we also have Jessica Cunningham. She's one of our agents out of our Somerset office. She's going to be on there and be able to tell us a little bit more about herself and what's going on. So we're going to have her on there as well. So it's going to be really exciting. And I'm getting some, is audio okay? Can everybody hear okay? Audio bad?
Yeah, the audio's not good.
All right, hold on. Let's see if we can fix this a little bit. Tell me if anything gets better.
Not yet, it isn't.
How about now?
Nope.
Still having problems?
Yes.
Interesting. Not sure what's going on.
Yeah, it's very muffled and gargling.
All right, Jane, see if you can keep talking there for me. I'll fix mine. Can everybody hear Jane?
Yeah, is my audio not good as well? And we were worried about me being the one. He says mine's great, so.
All right. Let's see what's going on here on my end. My bandwidth is strong.
Yeah. On your end is my vibe.
How about now? Anything better?
No.
Is that better?
No, still garbled.
All right, hold on. Tell me if this is any better.
Yes.
Okay. That work?
Much better. Does it sound much better for everyone else? Yep, Steve says better.
Good. Much better?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm not sure what's going on there, but that's the beauty of live video. We're going to have technical issues. That's the whole part of this. So it's all good.
Bear with us a minute.
Yeah, bear with us.
Yeah, it's much better now, Adam. It's just a little echoey.
Okay. All right. We'll roll with that. We'll work on that later. All right. Good deal. I'm glad everybody's here. Sorry for the technical issues, but again, live video, anything can happen. So at this point, let's go ahead and get on with the show. Anybody have any comments you want to leave? just feel free to do so. As we roll through this, we'll open up each section and we'll have time for some Q&A. So at this point, let's start the show. All right, welcome to the first episode of the Advantage Live Show. I am your host, Adam Gullett, with the co-host, Jane Politchek. Jane, say hello.
Hello and good morning, everyone.
Glad to have you here. We are going to start off this show with the first segment, and it's going to be the real estate news. So this is the first segment. Let's go. All right, so we're going to be talking about the 5 housing trends that have changed in 2020 due to COVID-19. And we're just going to do a quick little just discussion on this. It's been kind of interesting that 2020 has been a very odd year. And one of the things that I begin to see is that the way people are using their homes has changed extensively, right? I mean, it's no longer just, coming in just getting done with work and coming home and just kicking back and relaxing. You're doing more and more in your home. So I think, Jane, you would agree with that. I think we were using it very differently.
People are in their homes much more than they used to be, and even working from home.
Yep. And it's changing the way people operate inside of their house. I mean, they're using it for everything. They're looking for that all-inclusive environment. It's no longer just a place to relax. They need that separate space for home offices and so forth. So so we're going to go through some of these things and just kind of discuss them as we go. The first thing I want to bring up is leaving big cities in favor of more suburban and rural towns. That's kind of been a trend going on, and there's many reasons on probably why that is happening. Jane, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, most of the clients that I've talked to that are searching for property here, they're wanting to be out in the country where there's fewer people and, they have more outdoor space.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, they want that space. I guess in a world of social distancing, that extra space is probably what they're going for the most.
Well, the fear of a pandemic, people are like, we need to be in a space where we're not so close.
Yeah, it makes sense. And, and then of course, with working from home, they want that more space because they're able to kind of get out and do more. They're going to be there more. And, they don't need the busy lifestyles much. And, as a company, we're in the majority of the cities that we're in are more rural. And I think we've seen a big uptick in sales and stuff because of that. I think you would agree with that.
Yeah, and I think people are looking for a little bit larger home. You might have thought your home was the perfect size until you found out you have to conduct school and business and your regular family life all in the same space.
Man, that's absolutely true. Absolutely true. And that goes to the next one, the looking for a home with multiple purposes, right? My personal opinion is you're going to start seeing the new homes that are going to be built differently. I think you're going to start seeing those home offices kind of put off to the side, away from the everyday family environment. So I think that's going to be kind of interesting to see how the building and the style of builds will change over time as well.
Yeah, buildings already started to change with, the pandemic. Supplies were limited, factories were closed, so prices are changing. And it's affecting more than you would initially think.
Yeah, I would agree. One of the things we were actually talking about this last night as we were driving around, we lost electricity last night, and so we had to go out to eat. And we're driving around. Of course, you can't go in anywhere. No. But then we drove by the movie theater, and we're sitting there talking like, oh, man, you remember when we used to go to the movies, and that was always fun and everything like that. And you kind of wonder, hopefully we go back to having some kind of, movie theater experience again. I see that in the future, but I think the way people are even using their homes, like the sale of large TVs, surround sound and speakers have went up in sales. People are now also designing their homes with more that theater type feel. And a matter of fact, I was going to share this. There is an article that I just read this morning through the Daily Brew. If you don't subscribe to that, it's pretty cool little newsletter. But interesting, they said in an announcement that shook the film industry, Warner Brothers, a subsidiary of AT&T's Warner Media, said it will release its 2021 movies on AT&T's streaming service, HBO Max. At the same time, they debuted in theaters. So those films include Dune, The Matrix 4, and In the Heights, and they won't cost HBO Max subscribers anything extra. So we're already seeing a trend take place in the theater industry because of COVID that I just didn't even see coming. I mean, that people now are building these home theaters, and the movie industry is noticing that, and now they're starting to then release brand new movies straight onto these streaming services.
Yeah, it's all about adapting. Everyone's lives change so quickly, and the quicker you can adapt in your field, the more successful you'll be.
Yeah, I would agree with that completely.
The sale of portable heaters, outdoor heaters, has skyrocketed too because people are trying to utilize their outdoor space, and with the weather, they're number one sellers right now.
Yeah, it's interesting how much it's like, the economy like balances itself out. Some industries begin to struggle while other ones begin to pick up. And that home entertainment, the outdoor living spaces, kitchen, like pantries, pantries are on the rise. We went through this age where no one had pantries because no one was cooking at home. So now you start seeing that as a building trend as well. It's going to start changing a little bit. So that's kind of interesting as well. So we kind of mentioned outdoor living spaces, pools, large decks. I know pools were on the rise as well. Everyone was buying a pool. Did you get a pool, Jane?
No. I want a hot tub.
Ah, there you go. Yeah. That's good. Hot tub with a nice outdoor heater and stuff. So when you get out, you're not freezing. That's great. So do we have any comments out there? That's it for the real estate news segment. Does anyone have any comments they want to bring up, and any questions about what they're seeing? Any statements they would like to bring up? Feel free to do so now. Love to have you kind of part of the show. What's some of the things you guys are seeing in the industry as well? If we don't have anything, no big deal.
Yeah, I think so many things have changed. You were talking about kitchen space and things like that with the restaurants being closed and people ordering food on click lists and things like that. You're seeing a real shift in pretty much every industry. Black Friday was very strange this year. It was mostly online, and it lasted for weeks. And I think they had to make it last for weeks to kind of build that volume up that would normally happen in a shorter period of time.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, even on the building side of things, right? I mean, it's supplies and then trying to get windows and garage doors and those type of things.
The cost of building materials is crazy high. Yeah, windows, things that you normally took, 7 to 10 days to be in stock are looking at 6 to 8 weeks now. And the cost of all those materials, because they're scarce, are higher and higher and higher.
Yeah.
It's really kind of a strange thing in our market because the housing market is increasing. There's a shortage of homes, but they're not really building a lot more because they can't get the supplies. So there's going to be an evening out there somehow.
Yeah. I can see that happening, and it will happen. I mean, that's why we're seeing the increase in value of homes and everything going up. So it makes sense. It's the way it works. All right. Well, I don't see any comments coming in right now about this segment, so we're going to wrap this one up, and we're going to move on to the next one. And this one's going to be fun. This is our special guest. So most of you guys know who this is. It's Steve Robinson. Here we go.
Hey, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, Steve.
Good to see you all.
Welcome to the Advantage Live show, my friend.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's awesome. This is pretty cool. Thank you, too, for hosting this show. And I think that it's going to be a really cool thing for our company and hopefully a help to our agents and even other agents out there who might want to tune in, and even to the population in general. I'm excited about it. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Yeah, we're pretty pumped. I mean, it's a great way. I mean, living in the 2020, going through all this, I think people have become a little more understanding about how video works and what's going on. And so, of course, we wanted to be able to provide some kind of value back to our agents as well as other agents and the consumer. And I'm kind of excited about being able to do something like this. It's fun. It's a learning experience for sure, but it's going to be great.
Yeah, it was interesting to see how many of our agents were really not comfortable doing it at first, but now they're using it all the time.
Yeah, it's very cool. Love it. I think this is an awesome thing to do.
Larry likes your shirt, Steve.
All right.
I think we all need one of those.
I bleed gold.
That's right. That's great. Hey, let's just start off real quick, Steve. Give us just a quick synopsis of your journey into real estate, just kind of how the company got started and where we are now.
Yeah, wow. So just maybe a short bio. Lifelong resident of Laurel County. Went to college in Williamsburg at Cumberland College, and graduated with a political science and history degree, and also went through the ROTC program there. So right after college, I went into the active duty Army. And just before I went into active duty Army, married my wife, Lisa. And so we spent 6 years together in the Army, and it was a great time. Spent 3 of those years in Germany. That was awesome. Anybody's been there, Stuttgart is where we were stationed, and it was very awesome. And I like to say we had just gotten married, sent to Germany. So I like to say that we had a 3-year honeymoon in Europe, courtesy of the military. So that was pretty cool.
Not many people get to do that.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Yeah, it was a neat experience. If you've not been to Europe, you need to, when all this mess clears up, do that. That should be a bucket list. You won't be disappointed. Anyway, got back, got out of the military in January of '92. My father had his real estate license since the early '70s, and I like to say he was flipping before it was called flipping. And so he bought and sold property. He was basically a one-man show. He had gotten his broker license. So a few events happened, too long to tell now, but I decided, hey, I'll get my real estate license, see what I can do with it. And we sold as an independent firm, Robinson Realty, for about 5 years, from 1992 to 1997. During that 5-year period, learning the business, trying to decide if that was what I wanted to do or not do. Ultimately decided, hey, I think I can make a go of this, but if I do, I think we need to be a franchise. I think it's a franchise nation. Anywhere you find yourself, there's a franchise, whether it's a food chain, whether it's a hotel chain, gas station, and people have a comfort level with franchises. So they may not know Steve, but they know Century 21, of course. So trying to make this part quick is I researched every existing franchise that there was known at the time. A few new ones since then, but most of the big ones were around then. And to me, Century 21 was the cream of the crop. And as it worked out, there was an availability, and I bought the franchise and started building it, and went from a one agent situation to where we are now. So, and I give the credit to the franchise and to Century 21, plus a little hard work applied. But so as the story goes, '97 started Century 21 Advantage Realty, and moved to Somerset, I think along about I believe 2006, Richmond in 2010, opened in Danville in 12, Moorhead in 15, I believe it was, and we have just opened this year in Lexington with a startup there. So that's pretty much the journey. I'm still in the military, and I switched from active duty, obviously, to the National Guard. Got 34 years of service with the military. 34 years of marriage to my wife. We've got a son and a daughter, a couple cats, a couple dogs, and just living the dream. And to have the greatest group of agents that I know of anywhere. And I couldn't be prouder to serve as the broker of this great company.
Yeah, that's well said, Steve. And what a journey it's been. I have to say, I'm honored to be a part of this now. It's definitely an honor to serve this company and serve you and be a part of it. I will say we've got an amazing group. Can't say enough. I wake up every day and look forward to my job.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed.
Yeah, it's an honor. Good story. Thank you, Steve. Let's go and roll into some questions here. We're going to start with just a simple little icebreaker question. So this one out here is just for fun, but what app on your phone could you not go without? We all are tied to our phones. It's become the norm. So what app could you just, if you deleted it, you'd be in trouble?
Yeah, it's hard to pick just one, I'll bet.
Yeah. One particular comes to my mind, business, and I've got a few come to my mind for more fun, if you will, professional development and fun. But doesn't the answer have to be Zoom? Couldn't spell Zoom.
At this point, you're probably exactly right.
I mean, how that has transformed life in general
I
is,
think we would have gone insane without it. It's the only way we were able to see each other and talk to each other, you know.
yeah,
I
that's
totally agree.
absolutely true. So I would say my one word answer, one app, it'd have to be Zoom. I got a few others I could throw out there for fun if we've got the time.
What are your second and third place ones?
Well, fun is, and I don't know if that might sound weird, but my podcast app.
Yeah.
Typically, and of course this year has messed that up, but typically I find myself driving to one of 6 places every day in a typical week, pre-COVID and hopefully soon post-COVID world.
Okay.
And between telephone calls, I'm always listening to a podcast, and any subject that you might be interested in, fun, work, professional development, growth, political, religious, it is there on a podcast, and I love listening to those. So that'd probably be my number 2 go-to. For fun, I don't know if you know, I love music. I like Shazam. I don't know if you all have heard of that.
Yeah, love Shazam.
I love that, hearing, hey, I know that song, but when was that written, or what are the lyrics, or what's the title, the artist, and all that. That's pretty fun. I keep that handy. And last one I would say is the sky view. I don't know if any of you all are into star watching, but my wife actually read an article to me yesterday that we're getting ready to see, I think December 21st, I believe it is, the Bethlehem star phenomenon. A couple of planets are going to be so closely aligned, it looks like one large star. So that's pretty cool. Not too long ago, a few months ago, you could see all of the planets with the naked eye. And that Star View app, you should download it. It illuminates the sky. You put your phone up to the sky, and it shows you what star systems you're looking at. So that's a fun one.
That is a fun one.
Yeah, so I like that too. So
I was telling Adam, I think mine would be dot loop, because oh my goodness, it's probably been the one we use the most.
Yeah, that's excellent. That has to be on top for our ages for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Keith had just said showing time. That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yes.
Well, and our MLS apps have been so convenient on our phone, where we can send sellers disclosures to people and not have to print them and physically hand them anything, just to be able to send that right there.
Yeah, can't beat it.
Yes, technology has been interesting. I'm in my mid-50s, 54 years old, and seeing some of these technologies and trying to figure them out and embrace them compared to some young folks that it's intuitive, it seems, to them. But I just smile myself, and many of you out there listening can probably identify. It's like initial thought is reject every new technology. I'm not doing it. Too old to learn it.
I don't understand it.
And
whole new learning curve and all this kind of stuff. Yeah,
it's like transformative to our life in a positive way. So yeah, those are some great throwouts there, folks. There
you go, Tracy, Amazon.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, yeah. And me and the Amazon guy are buddies now. The dog doesn't even bark at him anymore.
That is right. That's awesome.
That's awesome. That's so true. Yeah. All right, that was fun. Let's go into the next one here, guys. Jane, you got that one?
Yeah. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
That's a good one.
I got the hard question to give you.
Yeah, I could come up with a good list for y'all, but we all the most. I'd say the most frustrating thing that I deal with personally, just give you a little bit of transparency behind the Iron Curtain, is I am a warrior. I don't know, do we have other warriors out there? My wife will tell you, is That is my one thing. I'm not negative. I am not a pessimist, but I am quick. I worry, and I battle
For your health.
that demon. Yes,
Yeah.
it's tough on probably this white hair that you see. But yeah, if I could remove that, I would take that away from myself. But it's part of who I am. But I do battle that.
Yeah, agents tell me a lot. There's this fear, fear of what you say to somebody, saying this just the initial meeting with people.
Yeah, it's good. I've done this before, and it's sad. But if you walk through a cemetery, you ever think like, how many of those people didn't accomplish what they could have accomplished because of fear and even worry, and you just kind of walk that cemetery and just think that, man, there's a lot of opportunity we are all living right now, and in spite of 2020, we are all alive and are able to do a lot of things right now. And I think we don't want to take that for granted. And I'm guilty of all of those things. First to admit, absolutely true.
Yeah, me too. And the frustration of not being able to do what you normally do is difficult.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, I'd say there are a lot of us out there that are.
Yeah.
It's a battle. It's a battle.
It is right here.
It is. So, Steve, here's the next one for you. When you think of success, who comes to mind and why?
I would. What comes to my mind is maybe more of a category rather than a specific person. But I think of success doing what you love to do and getting an income from that. To me, and I do love what I do, even though I have worry with it, and it has been very good to me. But I would think success to me would mean being able to make a living out of something that you love to do. You think of artisans who are, being paid for their crafts, carpenters who are skilled and getting paid for that. Sales folks who love interacting with people and have found a way to, hey, my one strongest suit is communication, and I'm able to translate that through sales into an income. I think that is a good place to be in life. And we all know probably of people who are, I think of the maybe the mule on the wheel grinding the grain.
Yes.
That's all they've got to look forward to, and just the demeanor of those people. And we probably all know those, some of those folks, that life is a drudgery. You hate every moment of everything that you're doing and can't wait for it to end. To me, that is sad. So let's find what you love to do and figure out a way to get it done.
Love that. It's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, Steve, what do you think your unique skill is that's helped you become so successful?
I would
think it's that you care so much. You were talking about worrying. I think you worry because you care so much.
Yeah.
I would say I will have to say I am not knocking myself here at all. I'm not trying to, have fake humility or whatever. But honestly, and I've seen this demonstrated. I've had other folks from other industries that come into our company and have honestly validated this. But I hope that I am, and I hope everyone listening can see, is I think being kind to people, honestly, being nice, simply being nice to people, and showing that you value them and that you appreciate them. And if you're an agent on our show listening today, if you have not felt that from me, I'm sorry, because it is my mission to make sure you do know that you are appreciated. And the fact that you're part of this company, I appreciate that sincerely. And my striving, or my motivating reason for being is to gratify, empower, to lift up, to be kind, to be nice. And I've had many people from different industries, again, that have come in and just talking about, my goodness, if my so-and-so boss, superior, whatever, would just say thank you once in a while. To me, it's so foreign. I can't imagine not being appreciative. But I would say that's probably a defining skill, personality trait, or whatever. A couple of other things come to my mind is, I tend to be calm and not overreactive. I have the ability to be people's, maybe a little bit of whipping post, but to allow people to empty their feelings out.
You're the rock. Yeah, think of it as the rock rather than the post.
Yes. So I don't get angry quickly. I'm very slow to get upset or angry. And obviously, in our line of work, honestly, you deal with people who are upset and angry all the time. They're dealing with the biggest purchase or sale of the biggest item that they will ever deal with. The emotions run high. And I do think my calm demeanor, which is just, it's not something I created, it's who I am, maybe has helped me navigate and build what we have built to this point.
That's well said. I would agree. I think who you are, your character, your nature, that ability has actually absolutely helped for sure.
Yeah.
You're approachable.
Yeah, try to be.
So, Steve, what advice would you give someone that is wanting to pursue a career in real estate?
I would say is you need to think in terms of long-term. Military, we'd say strategic versus tactical. Real estate is a long-term proposition. And we all know of people who dip their toe in it, experiment with it, come and go, but those who are truly successful in it, you can see, even if they have early success, the truly successful folks, you can see that they've been in it 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, 30 years. It is a strategic process. You have to have a lot of stick-to-itiveness. There's lots of ups and downs and challenges, and it's a roller coaster ride. Maybe emotionally, financially, it strains your senses in a way. So you have to have a long-term career mindset. One thing that I would add, maybe a little bit selfishly here, is the most important thing an agent can do is select the right real estate company. Once you have found your right real estate company, is stay.
Yeah.
That's easy to say from my standpoint, and might be fall on skeptical ears, but I'm sincere. And that is the best thing that you can do is find where you belong and stay there. And like a marriage, there's going to be good times and there's going to be bad times, but you need to remove. I had some conversations recently about this, and I agree. Remove divorce from the table.
Yes.
Agree, hey, I've chosen the very best company. It's not going to be perfect, but I'm going to sink my roots. And I say this to our folks all the time. You look at long-term successful agents, you know where they have been, where they sell real estate from. They've been there forever.
Yeah.
That's identity. And I would challenge you all, that needs to happen in your walk. Choose your company. Hope it's Century 21. But you need to sink roots and you need to stay there.
Yeah, I never understood how an agent could go out in the public and say, whatever company I'm with, they're the best, we're great, we're fabulous. And then 2 weeks later say, well, I switched to this one because I didn't prefer that one, And I think it's difficult for your clients to keep up with you if you're, bouncing around.
It is. And making rash decisions in business is never a good thing anyway. It's you really need to think about every angle there. If you're at a brand and you're getting the support and the value you want, you're going to have rocks and some hills to get over together. But if you're getting that support, to think that the grass is greener on the other side is a risk, because you're you're branding yourself. And so if the system's working and there's a lot of value there, you're actually risking more by jumping ship like that. But then if you're not getting those things, like if you're currently not receiving those benefits, then the longer you stay at those type of locations and you're not seeing the value back, then that's the risk. You have to reassess that part of your business as well. So if you're getting those benefits and you're getting that support and you're getting that help, and it's providing value back to you to help grow your real estate business, then you're where you need to be. If you're not getting those things, then that's the time to either have communication with the people you work for, or that's the time to start talking to other people, right? I mean, that's kind of what's going on here. You're going for value. It's not about the splits and commissions. That's based on sales. But what you need to focus on is what brings the sales. Like how much help can you get? How much support can you get to bring the sales?
Yeah, and like Steve was saying, with Steve and his success, it stems from him being happy and enjoying what he's doing. And so I think if you stay in one place, you kind of know what to expect if things are going well,
Yeah.
if you're, able to do that. So Steve, can you think of any common myths about being a real estate agent and maybe ways you can debunk some of those myths?
Yeah, that's and thank you, Emily, for that comment. Probably tying into our last bullet there, I guess the chief thing comes to my mind as far as myths of the business is that it's easy, that it's a way to get rich quick. We have had a few agents find success early, but the most typical agent will find that it takes a little while from entry into the business until executing an income, and it takes work. It is not easy. It is it's a job. You have to work at it to succeed at it, and so that's probably common myths. I guess honestly, being transparent. So Adam, you mentioned commissions and jumping from one to the other, and of course we're arguing, and I think correctly so. Find a good place, stick there, and you will make more money regardless of what that commission number is. I believe that with everything in me.
Well, we've seen it.
Yeah,
many times.
You folks. Several of you all probably know, and we've talked about this before. Jared, James will tell you the same thing. Find a place where you like to be, and you will make the most money there. Believe it. That being said, we have, in my opinion, a very lucrative commission opportunity, but it really frustrates me what the in vogue phrase or terminologies or company models is the 100% model. I won't get a whole lot into that, but I would challenge any of you all, if you get tempted, call Adam. There is no such thing, and it really just makes me so aggravated that they try to dangle that you can earn everything that you now we are all smart enough to know how business works. Business has to maintain profitability to stay in business. So I'll leave it there, but that's one of my aggravations, and I think that would fall under the myth category. There's a whole lot more to the story there. So it is true, you can make a really good, lucrative even income through real estate, but you're going to do it through hard work and application of skill sets through a franchise, typically to hit the most. That's what the statistics say. You want to be part of a franchise, large growing company. What the statistics say about making the most money as an agent in this industry. So, we hope to mirror that and embody that.
That brings up a myth that, some agents think if they're with a large company, they're competing with all the agents that are in their company and that somehow they'll make less. But that's kind of really a myth too, isn't it?
Yeah. Those stats say just the opposite, honestly. They say that you need to be in a large growing company and you'll make more.
Yeah, each individual agent makes more the bigger their company is, right? Isn't that what the stats are?
Absolutely. That's exactly what they reflect. I mean, you're competing against most realtors anyway.
Yeah,
you're better off to have them in your office and having that conversation, that dialogue right then and there. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, finding
Rocky had something to say.
Hey, thank you, Robbie.
Thank you, Deb.
Thank you.
So we're going to wrap this up, this segment at least, with one more question, Steve. And I called this our signature question because I think answering this question is kind of significant because we all are faced with multiple decisions in our life, right? And sometimes there's certain decisions that lead us down roads that we might not have wanted to do, and there's ones that we make that lead us down the road we absolutely want to be on. So this question is in regards to that. What is the one decision that you put on that put you on the course to where you are now?
Yeah, that's a good one. Lots of things come to my mind. Probably the single biggest would be my decision to exit the military. I was at 6 years active duty, and you all probably know you can do 20 years as an active duty military and retire. And I was one enlistment period away from being over, halfway over that 20 years. And I made the decision to get off of active duty. And that, I would have to say that decision directly led to me getting into the real estate business. I would have to say, I would think through that process of what comes to my mind, honestly, is just many of the decisions I've made, places I've gone, things I've done, and, just those that are in my life that help direct my path. And, I have to shout out to my wife, Lisa, for helping, empower me, embolden me, and help me make decisions. I've already revealed to you that I am a warrior, which if you are that can become, if you don't overcome it, trap you in a place of fear that you don't do anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I would have to probably, and I'm just saying, I could say that where I am now too is because of my fantastic wife, Lisa, who has helped me, through all of these decisions and throughout all of these things that we've done and the growth that we've seen, and, urging me to, hey, you can do it.
That's right.
Do it. You can do this. So, maybe I would tie that military into probably going back even further is decision to marry the lady I decided to marry is probably one of the biggest reasons we are where we are right now. So
yeah, she's the rock behind the rock, right? She's the mountain behind the rock. So
yes,
she's great.
Yes.
Absolutely. Gina, transparency is pretty tough, and you all have opened up the steady face there. Behind the curtain. Don't look behind the curtain.
Yeah, it can be hard sometimes. But you know what? Again, going back, if this year has taught us anything, is that relationships are so crucial. And the way we can build relationship is through being more transparent in the lives that we have and the decisions that we've made and so forth. So, Steve, thank you so much, man. That was really good.
Let me just say, and I'll let you all finish the show up, but to those who have tuned in, thank you. To Adam and Jane, thank you for doing this show. I think it's going to be really awesome for our company, and I hope for the consumer in general. But I just want to leave a message to our agents who might be watching now or who may watch later is, I do want you to know I love and appreciate you sincerely. I do not take you for granted. You are an important, integral part of who I am, what this company is, and I value you and I appreciate you. And it truly is my privilege to work with you as your broker, to be there for you when you have questions. I hope, my goal is, if you haven't, my hope is that you already have seen that the words that I've just said are true through my actions, through my interaction with you, because it's sincere. You all are my family. You're my work family, but you are my family. I'm interested in you. I'm interested in what you do. I'm interested that you succeed. to the level you want to succeed in our company, in our business. And I want you to know I want you here. To those who might be listening that aren't part of our company, you're welcome to come here and be here and be part of this as well. Because I want to tell you, at least, we're talking about transparency. You won't be loved and appreciated more than I am. And as I'm not out listing and selling actively, my job is to support agents, try to grow this company, to answer agent questions, and to be there for you. I just wanted to take a moment just to let you know my heart, what I feel about you, what I think about you, what I think about this company. And I am so thankful for each and every one of you. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Steve, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing from the heart and giving us some background on who you are and what you've done with this company. We do appreciate you very, very much. Thank you for all that you do. And like I said earlier, it is an honor.
Thank you all.
And thank you all for watching. So we're going to transition to the next segment, guys. Thank you all so much. We're going to go into basically some quick little real estate reports on the NAR. We'll go through those and just a quick discussion on a couple of those points, and then we'll bring in Jessica. All right, guys. Hey, so real quick, we're just going to go through a couple little slides here. These are the reports presented by National Association of Realtors. So, a lot of our agents are always asked, like, what is going on in the market, those type of things. And so we want to kind of bring you a quick little segment on this, and we'll do this every week just to kind of run through a couple little things. So this one is obviously going to be about like housing activity, economic outlook, research, statistics, and reports. So hopefully you'll find some value in here. Feel free to take some screenshots, use these in your social media and so forth. You're welcome to do that or share this video. The first one we want to talk about right here is the existing home sales. They hit 6.85 million in October of 2020. Jane, what do you think about that one?
It's pretty amazing.
I would say across the company, I think we've seen sales up tremendously.
Yeah, I think people thought with the pandemic and everything that's going on that sales would plummet, but really they skyrocketed for many.
They did. They absolutely did. I mean, right now, I know in most of our markets, we're looking at about maybe a 2-month supply of inventory. So if our agents did not list another single property in 2 months, we'd be basically have nothing to sell.
Yeah, homes are going so quickly too, I think.
They really are.
I mean, they're under contract many times the same day they're listed.
Yep. It's crazy. Multiple offers. Usually contingencies are hard to get under contract as well because you're getting cash buyers and just good qualified buyers as well. Interest rates, we'll get into that here in a second, but crazy good. So here's another one. Median existing home sales prices continue to increase at double-digit pace. The median existing home sales price rose to an all-time high of $313,000, up 15.5% from 1 year ago. The median sales price is 35.9% higher than pre-Great Recession peak of $230,400 in July of 2006. That's a crazy good increase in market. I have to say I'm pretty stoked about that one. Here we go. End of the month inventory falls to a new low. Remember, these are national averages. This is not based on any particular market in our area. This is a national average. So end of the month inventory falls to a new low of 2.5 months supply. Like I said, a couple areas we have about a 2-month supply, but on average, we're looking at about 2.5 months supply. End of the month inventory fell to 1.42 million, a decline of 19.8% year over year, the 17th consecutive month of year-to-year decline since 2019. Pretty good, isn't it, Jane?
Yeah, it really is.
So it's a good time to sell a home.
Yeah, we wish more people would. The inventory's been so low.
It has. We could use some properties to sell, and our agents really could. Another good one here is the median days on the market falls to 21 days. Love that number, 21. 20 days with more buyer offers on limited inventory. This is for the third straight month. Properties typically sold within 21 days, the lowest record since NAR tracked this data starting in 2011, according to Realtors who responded to a monthly survey. 1 year ago, properties typically stayed on the market for 32 days. 72% of properties sold within 1 month. I mean, we're looking at crazy inventory numbers here. I mean, things are going through like crazy. If you list a property, if it's good location, it's priced right, it will sell. This is a good one. We'll be interested to see how this kind of pans out throughout week to week. I know a lot of states are kind of handling COVID differently now. So right now, though, jobless claims are still fewer than what they were. So fewer people applied for unemployment benefits last week. The number of initial claims dropped to the lowest level since the pandemic began. Specifically, the unadjusted new jobless claims totaled 723,105 in the week ending November 7th. It's a decrease of 3% from the previous week. So it's very interesting to see what's going on in the market. People are getting back to work. There's new jobs kind of opening up and people are going out there and doing things. I will say, I don't know if you noticed this, Jane, or not, but like delivery trucks. I mean, I have had people in their private vans with a FedEx and UPS magnet stuck to the side of their vehicle so I can deliver my packages.
Yeah, there's so many different ones out there now.
Yeah, there is. I mean, if you need work, there's a job out there.
It's all the Amazon deliveries, I think.
That's true. That's true. So that's it for the real estate report for this week. If you guys have any questions or anything about any of this, feel free to drop it in the comments. Just put question all in caps followed by your question, and we can answer those at the end of the show. All right. We're now going to transition into our agent spotlight. We're going to have Jessica Cunningham. So here we go. Hey, Jessica. Welcome to the Advantage Live show. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We're honored to have you on here. Thank you for agreeing to go live. I know that this kind of environment can be nerve-wracking and can bring all kinds of nerves, but it's also exhilarating at the same time. Hopefully you're having a little bit of fun with this.
I'm trying. I'm a little nervous, but it is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Nerves are part of it, right?
Now, I can't see Jessica from my end. Can you, Adam?
I can. She's on there, I think. If anybody else can't see her, just let us know in the comments there. But looks like she's on my feed.
I can see her square, but I can't actually see her.
I'm going to introduce Jessica real quick. Jessica, I went ahead and got your bio, so I'm going to read a little bit about this because I want you guys to kind of know a little bit about who Jessica is and a little bit of her background as well before we even get into the questions with her. So Jessica Cunningham is a native of Lexington, Kentucky. She has a diverse and well-rounded background. Early on, she worked for the UK Kentucky Clinic, where she accelerated into various positions as a medical transcriber, patient scheduling coordinator, and administrative floater. While working for UK, she took advantage of enrolling in classes on leadership and management at the university, which would serve her well in the future. A few years later, she took a position with a private real estate company in downtown Lexington. I did not know that, Jessica. That is awesome. She managed the office and leased out their office spaces. She was also the administrative supervisor. While there, she engaged in various contracts, advertising, and admin duties for a wide variety of clients, attorneys, appraisers, nonprofit organizations, energy companies, realtors, and several different entrepreneurs. She also helped to develop and implement the Lexington Young Professionals Association. Jessica, that is so cool.
Wow, that's a lot.
That is a lot. This is a really good bio, Jessica. This is awesome. So in 2012, Jessica started her own part-time business, VIP, Virtual Premier Personnel, LLC, providing virtual and in-person assistance to various professionals and business owners in the area. She provides services ranging from paralegal work to professional organizations of homes and offices. Over the last few years, she has completed business classes at Somerset Community College and most recently completed the real estate course at the APAS Weichel Institute in Lexington. She is coming from Somerset. She moved here, I guess you moved in 2003 to Somerset. Is that correct, Jessica?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, we are so glad to have you on this show as well as part of the Century 21 family. Welcome to all this.
Thank you.
That's an awesome bio.
It is awesome.
Well, I'm a little embarrassed, but okay. Thank you.
That's good.
I've always kind of been a go-getter. So I don't know. I just when I've gotten involved in something, I've just, like working at UK at a very young age, I just learned whatever I could and grabbed onto any position that would come open. So I've just kind of always been that way.
Yeah,
So what made
taking
you
advantage of the
decide?
opportunity. Oh,
What
go ahead,
made you
Jay.
decide to go into real estate then, Jessica, after all of those endeavors?
Well, I've always wanted to be a real estate agent. I mean, for years, I just thought being a realtor would just be the coolest thing ever. But just different circumstances and life changes, I just a lot of times just wasn't able to do it. And I had some fear, honestly, about doing it and whether I would succeed at it or not. And I would say fear was a big part of keeping me from doing it. So
Yeah, that's good. I think we all can relate to that. We kind of discussed that earlier, and I think that's absolutely true.
yeah. But I love people. I'm a just socially driven kind of person anyway. So I love people. I love um, caring for my home and all the things that go into that, decorating and all that stuff. And so all of that's fun to me. And now that I've become a realtor, I just keep telling, I've told Adam this several times, I've told Stephanie Todd this, I was made for this, and I cannot believe I took this long to get into it. But this is my thing. I love it.
That's awesome. Well, that's kind of a good segue into my very next question is, you have made yourself readily available to pretty much anything and everything that came your way, right? I mean, it's like you were just ready to go. And so what are some of the successes that you've had already in real estate? You've only been in, let's see, when did you get started officially?
Officially, it was like the second week of May.
Okay.
So
And
not
okay,
very long.
not very
Well,
long.
I got my license and then COVID hit. So it was real weird. And like I couldn't get, my license from the realtor board. And so it just took a while to actually get started.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah.
So walk us through some of the successes you've already had.
Well, one thing, I was just completely blessed with my first time doing floor time, opportunity time at the office. I was kind of training, and I got a call to list a property. Like I just felt like it just fell in my lap. I couldn't believe it. So that was a huge success, I feel like, because I had just started. And I don't think that happens very often. So, but honestly, I can say right now that the thing that has made me just very happy, and I feel like is a great success that tells me I'm doing my job right, is I had a client recently post a kind of a testimony, a recommendation about me. And she had said that it was as if a longtime family friend had come alongside them and helped them with their transition from Michigan to here. And that was a huge compliment to me, because it made me feel like I did my job. I did it right. I connected with these people in a way that they trusted me, and they felt comfortable with me. And so that just meant the world to me.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So Jessica, after wanting to be a real estate agent for so long, what brought you to Century 21? What helped you make that decision?
First and foremost would be brand name. I mean, I was before I knew Adam before, but before I'd even talked to him about it, was just thinking about the idea of going to school and getting my license. I think most people, when you think of real estate, Century 21 comes to mind. It's just that well known. Everybody knows who Century 21 is. So that was probably number one. I thought I definitely want to be with somebody that's got a great brand name and they know, who I am. But very close second to that is once I did talk to Adam and found out more about Steve and how he ran things with the company, there really was no other option for me. I just knew that the support that is here is amazing. how Century 21 gives back to the community. That is huge to me. That I love what we do, the kind of the face we have in the community. And it feels like a family. And I haven't even been here that long, but I really, call Century 21 family, and everyone is so accessible. There's no competing. It's just encouraging one another, coming alongside one another, helping one another. That's just huge. And that's what family does.
That's well said, Jessica. Thank you so much for those kind words, for sure. Yeah, you definitely encompass what we're about, your nature and your character. Going back to even our statement, leading by serving. It's what we believe at the core, and I know you believe that with your whole heart. So, thank you for that, for sure.
Yes.
So here's another question for you. What is something interesting about you that others, just might not know?
Probably in the midst of all the kind of different types of jobs I've held and things I've done, I also homeschooled my 3 children for several years. And a lot of people were probably kind of surprised by that. I worked and homeschooled, and I believe we were very successful at doing that. And so that would probably take some people by surprise, but it was some of the best years of my life. I would never trade that time with my children for anything. So I love that.
So you were doing homeschooling before homeschooling was like the thing.
Yes. I was scared to death when I did it, but I did it and loved it. And it's kind of funny now because everybody's been thrown into homeschooling now. So
that's what I was going to say. A lot of people are doing it now. Talk about the fear. It was no choice, just suddenly, boom.
Yeah,
no choice, no plan. I mean, didn't know what they were doing, and then boom, they had to do it. I mean,
no forewarning. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, and for anybody that maybe knew me 20 years ago, well, number one, they'd be surprised that I was homeschooling my kids, but also surprised that I live on a farm. I mean, I was city girl, just I never even thought I'd be in a small town. Loved Lexington, loved everything about it. And now here I am on an 80-acre farm, and I collect, eggs every morning from my children.
That's awesome.
So can you think of any one decision that, put you on the path to where you are now?
Trusting God. I'm a woman of faith, and like I said earlier, being very fearful of failing and making the decision to say, you know what, I've got to let go of this fear of failing, and I've got to follow through with a dream that I've had for a long time, and I've got to trust God with the gifts that He's given me, and the abilities, and just
Good.
Step out there on faith and do it. And it took me, Adam knows, it took me a long time to take my test. I did the school, and then I was like, okay. And I just kept putting it off. And so that decision was like, Jessica, schedule it, do it. Yeah. And I did. And so just step out and trust, it works out. So
wow, Jessica, that's awesome.
So many successful people say, just do the thing that scares you most. And that is what has made them most successful. So I'm glad that you were able to do that, take that leap of faith.
Yes.
Yeah, that is awesome. Well, Jessica, thank you so much for coming on. Before we part, though, we definitely want to give you a chance to do a little bit of shout out here. So if someone's wanting to buy or sell real estate, what is the best way that you can be reached?
Yes, please call me. My number is 606-271-1175. Again, I love my job, and I'd love to help you.
There you go, guys. Give Jessica a call. There's her contact information. Jessica, again, thank you so much.
You're doing great.
To have you part of the show. What was that, Jay?
Thank you.
I said she's doing great. We're so proud of you and your accomplishments in such a short time.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I love it. And thank you guys for having me today.
Awesome. Thank you, Jessica.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, that was awesome. Jane, that wraps up the show. Our first episode is done.
Yay. And they'll get better and better, I'm sure. We're still tweaking some audio issues and some different
right.
things, but it's super fun.
It is fun. And thank you to everybody that's tuned in and chatted and via participation in this show of ours. And I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you've gotten something of value from this show. And if you did, please consider hitting that little subscribe button below or ringing the bell. And if you're on Facebook, be sure to like our page and set up the reminders to be notified next time we go live. You know, we're going to be doing this every Friday at 10:30. So go ahead and set it in your calendar and come back and visit with us again. And we'll continue to hone in on technical issues and make this a better show as we go. Next week, we've got another guest coming on. This guest is up in Canada. He runs a company up there in Toronto. It is a large Century 21 office up there, and he's going to come on the show, and we're going to be talking to him about kind of what's going on in the market, even inside of Canada. So that'll be kind of fun to have him on. So thank you all so much for tuning in, and I look forward to doing this again. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
And as always, if you have any questions, give us a call, reach out.
Please do. See ya.
Bye.